Title: Longest as government shutdown deepens political divide. The United States government shutdown became the longest in the nation's history on Wednesday, surpassing the previous record set during Donald Trump's first term. Speaking in a White House breakfast, former President Trump admitted that the shutdown contributed to recent Democratic election victories and urged Republican senators to end the stalemate. Democrats are pushing for an extension of Affordable Care Act tax credits to prevent health insurance rate hikes, while Republicans refuse to link the measure to their funding bill, lacking the 60 votes needed to advance it. The impasse has left millions affected, including food aid recipients, air traffic controllers and furloughed federal workers like microbiologist Stephanie Rogers, who struggles to pay bills and afford her daughter's medication. Amid growing financial strain and frustration, Trump called on Republicans to abolish the Senate filibuster to pass the funding bill with a simple majority. However, key party members, including Senate Majority Leader John Thune, rejected the idea, signaling continued gridlock and deepening divisions within Washington. Title: Activists vow to fight new mayor's policies, warn against weakening police. At a rally, organizers warned the new mayor against implementing socialism or weakening the police, saying any move that they believe threatens public safety will be met with organized resistance and mobilization. Speakers vowed to remain in the city, not relocate to other states, and to continue their mission of holding elected officials accountable, promising to become the mayor-elect and his supporters' worst enemies if necessary. Despite criticism that powerful forces had turned others against them during a critical moment for the city, they pledged to stay, fight for what they see as right, and push for improvement rather than surrender or retreat. Title: Judge orders to improve inhuman conditions at Broadview Detention Center. A federal judge has issued a temporary restraining order against the Department of Homeland Security (DHS) after witnesses described deplorable conditions at the Broadview Detention Facility, comparing them to a concentration camp. Detainees testified about a lack of hygiene products, showers, bedding, medical care, and access to food, water, and attorneys. Judge Robert Gettleman ruled the conditions unconstitutional and ordered us to provide clean bedding, soap, towels, and hygiene supplies, ensure detainees can shower every other day, clean holding cells twice daily, and allow private legal calls. The order also requires all documents to be given in both English and Spanish and prohibits agents from misleading detainees about paperwork. Gettleman condemned the facility's state, saying people shouldn't be sleeping next to overflowing toilets or on concrete floors. The plaintiffs have also demanded video footage from the last 6 months. Though it is admitted some footage from October is missing, the restraining order will remain in effect for 14 days, with the government required to comply by Friday at noon, while this continues to deny the allegations of substandard living conditions. Title: 11 dead in UPS cargo plane crash near Louisville. Investigation underway. Authorities have confirmed that 11 people were killed after a UPS cargo plane crashed shortly after takeoff from Louisville, Kentucky, marking the deadliest accident in the company's history. The MiN-11 aircraft, carrying 220,000 pounds of jet fuel, was en route to Hawaii when its left engine reportedly caught fire and detached from the plane, sparking a massive blaze that spread across a half-mile debris field. Among the victims were the 3 crew members on board, with at least 11 others injured. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, has recovered the plane's black boxes, which will be sent to Washington, D.C. for analysis. Investigators, including 28 NIST officials, are expected to remain on site for at least a week as they work to determine the cause of the crash. In the aftermath, UPS temporarily closed its Worldport facility responsible for sorting about 2 million packages daily, leading to the cancellation of 300 flights and expected shipping delays. Though the company has activated contingency plans to resume operations swiftly. Title: Judge condemns cruel conditions at Broadview Detention Center amid harrowing testimonies. In a federal courtroom, detainees at the Broadview Immigration Detention Center delivered shocking testimonies describing severe overcrowding and inhuman living conditions, prompting Judge Robert Gettleman to compare the facility to a concentration camp. Witnesses reported that single-occupancy cells held up to 7 people, with as many as 170 detainees crammed together without beds, blankets, soap, or access to showers and attorneys. One detainee, Pablo Moreno Gonzalez, broke down in tears describing the unbearable stench and exhaustion. Others, including Claudia Guevara, recounted being forced to clean overflowing toilets with garbage bags and denied clean water or hygiene products. Attorneys for the detainees alleged coercion by immigration agents to sign deportation papers and violations of detainees' rights. Judge Gettleman called the conditions unnecessary and cruel, emphasizing that no one should be surrounded by human waste or deprived of basic dignities. The judge said the plaintiffs had presented strong evidence justifying a temporary restraining order, which he plans to issue soon. Government lawyers warned that such an order could disrupt immigration enforcement in Illinois, setting the stage for further legal confrontation. Title: 2 years after war, Gaza lies in ruins as fragile ceasefire holds. 2 years after the October 7th attacks on Israel, Beak journalists were granted rare access to northern Gaza by the Israeli Defense Forces AIF, revealing scenes of complete devastation. Since last month's ceasefire, the AIF has withdrawn to a designated line, yet sporadic clashes continue, with Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry reporting over 240 deaths and Israel confirming 3 soldiers killed. Israel continues to restrict independent media reporting from Gaza, with journalists' visits tightly controlled and monitored under military censorship. Higgs correspondent Lucy Williamson described vast areas like Beek Hanoun and Shutdown reduced to rubble, symbolizing the destruction left by 2 years of war. The fragile ceasefire, part of former goals President Donald Trump's peace plan, remains under strain as both sides accuse each other of violations. Israel claims Hamas has failed to hand over weapons and continues to arm, while Israel's officials promote investment in the war-torn region's reconstruction. Amid the ruins, Gazans face uncertainty over who will control and rebuild their shattered homeland.